My name is Dr. Nicole Linan, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of MoodMe, a new app that allows you to share over 400 and plus moods, emotions, and desires with your partner, thus making communication super fun and super easy. Today's episode will be on dating apps. You've been married and you were in one part of your life where you would actually go up and court them, like in person. And then 8 years later, you come out and it's a completely different ballgame when it comes to dating. Now we have the apps.
Holy crap!
So talk about like women. Okay, you know, whether you believe like men chasing women, women chasing men. What does that look like to you in the dating app world?
Yeah, like what is today's world of dating? Yeah, I felt like I went in the 90s and came out like a millennium later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I first like got married, like, you know, we were still using AOL dial-up, you know what I mean? So, man, reacclimating to the dating world today was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. So I was very much against it at first. Right?
Yeah. You're like, no, I want to keep it. I'm traditional. I want to meet somebody in person.
You know, I don't want to say it's like I'm traditional. I want to meet somebody in person. I felt like I'm charismatic enough. I don't need an app. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'll attract somebody if I'm out, you know? I don't need to go find an app to do it. And I'm very extroverted. I'm very outgoing. I go out, you know, I love socializing and hanging out and being out and about. So I didn't feel like I needed an app. But I was wrong. You know, it's a tool just like anything else. And, you know, just like anything in technology, it's advancing our society, you know? I was like, next day dating apps, right? And then finally I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a try. So I got Hinge, right? Why did I pick Hinge? Because there's multiple apps out there, right?
Yeah,
there's like Tinder and all that stuff. Yeah, why did I pick Hinge out of all the apps? Well, okay, so here's my thought process behind this, okay? Tinder's to hook up, right? And there's definitely like the whole thing everybody knows. If you're on Tinder and you're swiping right, we're not looking to like engage in a long-term relationship. Okay.
I can agree with you on that.
Hopefully you're long enough. Okay.
Right.
They don't want it to be.
You meet somebody on Tinder.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
They're
I
not
didn't
looking
really
for
know.
they're not looking for a short one, but they want a long one. But anyways, but not too long. So Tinder's that. So I was like, there's a whole stigma to it. So as a guy going into the app, like you know what I mean, you're already stacked, odds already against you, unless you've got a freaking ripped 6-pack and a bunch of money. You know what I mean? So that just wasn't for me, right? And plus, I like more of a genuine connection.
So you would say that Tinder's a little bit more shallow.
Oh, Tinder is clearly shallow.
Yes.
No, I mean it is.
How hot are you?
Yeah.
How much money do you have?
Would I or wouldn't I? That's the question, you know what I mean? And but you plan on following through with the answer. That's
right.
So that's how that works. But so then a Bumble, all these other apps more of a woman friendly. So if you get on Bumble, apparently like the woman has to actually engage with you in conversation.
Right, so that switches the whole traditional roles of, you know, what we're talking about women not chasing a man. Because on Bumble, it's like, if you want to talk to a man, you're gonna.
The woman has to chase.
Yeah.
But you know what they said? They did that it wasn't like that initially. That was a safety measure because there's creepers, right? And the internet's creepy, right? So that's just kind of one of those things. They made it where like, hey, the woman has to engage you if she decides that she wants to like you. But okay, but what happens once you're in the DMs, right? And you, hi, and you get the wave back. Hi, right? Okay, this part, yeah.
You're like, I know, do you start with do you start with a funny quote?
Dude, you know what?
Ask a question?
Do I start by Googling what the should I do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, well, I've seen some crazy things like, what's your favorite sauce to dip chicken nuggets in? Like, there's all
Come on,
types of...
I've heard so many weird stuff. Okay, all right. So it took me a while because there actually is an algorithm. So my approach was, I started, it's dumb,
No,
right?
and none of this is dumb. I'm so interested, actually.
Because you know, it's like, I've never done this, right? Like at all. Like I've never felt the need to or want to. It's all new. So I'm like, you know, hey, and they're like, hey, and I'm like, hey. You know what I mean?
Now dating has become your clientele.
Right. So
in order to succeed see on the dating apps, you have to now become like.
So I'm trying to think of snappy
writer.
things. I'm like, okay, what's witty? Like, I'm reading through her profile. What does she like? Spaghetti? And I'm like, I make a really mean spaghetti sauce. I don't know, whatever it is. Okay, so this is what I started doing. I started like paying attention to their profile. Okay, and like looking at it and like really not scrolling past the first picture, going past the pictures, reading the context about her and engaging her. And one thing that I figured out is like, it's hard to get somebody just in general to engage on a real conversation. So you got to touch on a real subject, right?
Okay.
So a lot of these women are like, I believe in God, right? Or like I'm spiritual and
Yes.
stuff like that, you know what I mean? And I'll be like, hey, I just want to say that I really liked your post and just about how you share this vulnerable experience or whatever. Or I can relate to this emotional situation on a spiritual level. I try to go a little deeper, right? So I try to be more than your typical like DTF or, whatever it was that was going out there, and try to engage. And see who could actually engage in a real conversation. And one thing that frustrated me a lot was I don't like texting. I don't want to sit here and try. I can't engage in a real conversation.
I'm laughing right now so hard because we've come from like the traditional like older where a man asks you, hey, will you go on a date with me?
You literally knocked on their front door. Their parents would answer
the door.
Yeah.
The parents are like,
hello,
hi,
sir.
hi, sir. Like now it's like, and now it's like you get a post on your phone.
It's a whole different
And
thing.
then
all you get is a wave back, and like the wave is the sign the wave is the sign for okay, engage. Go ahead, give me your best shot, and you're over here like, crap, I don't even know what to do. And the truth of the matter is, she's not even. She might not even be worth the best shot.
Yeah, you don't really know. She sends an emoji. You're like, okay,
what I realized
that has to be the
proper protocol recently. What I've realized is if you actually engage in. You just say, hey, let me get to know you, right? Okay, so Hinge, why did I choose Hinge? Because Hinge is an app that's supposedly for people that are actually looking for a relationship, right? Mm-hmm. Which really translates to, you know what, I'm not just a sleazeball out here trying to F everybody, right? But the fact of the matter is, Hinge is still a hookup app, okay? Like, you know what I mean? But I'll say this. My last relationship was out of Hinge, was 3 years long. Right, a little over 3 years.
That's amazing.
But I got lucky because the one time I did actually get on it and I connected with such and such, right? We connected, But I had there's other people, but she actually like engaged with me and actually in conversation. So the steps of this are this: you DM, hopefully you find something interesting to talk about, and then she goes, hey, you can text me directly. That's the next step.
Yeah, we're like, oh, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm into the texting.
Yeah.
So if they get the phone number, then it means that you're moving in to
that's literally the next step.
Yeah, so
that's like okay, you've passed phase one.
So
now you can go here.
Start at the beginning of the online dating steps.
All right, yeah.
What's the first one?
Okay, so the first step is actually downloading the app, right?
Yeah.
Like, But I'm telling you, that's a step. That's a step.
Okay,
because
don't discount it.
Yeah, don't discount it.
Yeah.
Don't discount it because the truth is, like, it's not the app that we're worried about. It's technology and us embracing technology. Mm-hmm. This is our world. This is the world we live in. You just gotta get used to it. Okay.
So you have to accept that. Okay, we're not back in the traditional times where you would go and meet somebody. Now we're in times where we're now meeting people on the apps. And
you can literally be on an app and the person, no joke, can be in the same bar right next to you. You wouldn't even know. And he can be like, look up, huh? Oh my God.
Wait, you like 900 feet away from me.
Yeah, but that moment might be more awkward than actually cool because she might think you're safe and cool and connecting and you're on an app, and then all crap, you're actually in person. Then the dynamic changes, right? So all that walls break down. All of a sudden, all the crap or whatever you thought was gonna happen, they know what you look like now.
Yeah, you're like,
all right, so that doesn't happen. That doesn't normally happen. But
okay, so what's the next step?
Yeah, so okay, so down the app.
Okay, yeah. How would you say like your profile picture?
Oh, exactly. That was it. How do you build your profile, right? First of all, no one's using a picture of themselves right now, okay? Not a single person, I don't care who you are. I say 90% of the people do not just take a selfie and post it. I guarantee that's not how that happened. They're looking for
I feel bad for men because with women, we take a lot more pictures. So we're like, we're in pictures a lot. We have our girlfriends take pictures. But with guys, it's like, you know, when I was on the dating apps, I saw a lot of bathroom pictures where they were like in the bathroom.
Number one rule, anybody out there, number one rule, do not take a bathroom selfie and use it as your profile picture. Do not do it. It literally will, the app itself will kick you out. Like, it's like, nope, that's not how this works, bro. Like, you gotta go. Yeah. So you know what picture that I put up that actually got me the most like attention?
Yeah.
I put up a little kind of like self image picture of me in DC behind the Lincoln Memorial.
Okay.
So I had a really good image of me in the Lincoln Memorial back there. I felt like I looked sophisticated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. What kind of vibe are you?
Yeah.
Profile picture.
You know, and then they go
about.
So I'm like,
what
okay,
kind of vibe?
what kind of story and stuff? So I had to put like one picture with me and my son because they gotta know. I'm like, oh, I gotta know I have kids. I gotta put that picture. And then I had like pictures like me like in like, because I'm an event, you know, I'm in the entertainment industry.
Yes.
So that's another thing too, is that this is kind of weird about me. I am more wanting to show off like my corporate side of like how I am, because I've been contractors for like Ford in a general manager position. I've helped develop multi-million-dollar companies from the ground up. But my passion's entertainment, okay?
Yeah, of course.
Like,
You love entertainment.
I love it.
Yes.
Like, and I've always kind of set myself aside for the greater good. So like when I put my profile together, I felt like I had to like, look, I'm willing to like be corporating and sacrificing and all this other stuff. But the truth is, what really got the most attention was just like, this guy's fun, you know?
Yeah.
Like he does stuff, he's exploring, he's traveling or whatever. And then once I engage them.
So would you say that? So you send the messages, I mean, on Bumble, they obviously have to send it to you.
Yeah.
But you send, like on Hinge, you send the message to them?
Okay, so recently,
When I was on the dating apps, it would have to be that way. Like I would not. I'd be like, either you're sending me a message or we're not gonna even date.
Well, okay, yeah, so immediately.
So we get back to that.
This is so interesting to talk about, actually.
So we get back to that men
Yeah, okay, so here's how and I don't feel like I'm alone in this. Here's the single life of Hinge, right? You wake up in the morning, okay? You already know what I'm gonna say. You wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is you go, you know, who replied to my texts or who have I matched with, right?
Yeah.
So then, for some reason, I started getting matches. They're like, oh, match. I'm like, yes, no. And so, so here's the thing, guys, 9 times out of 10, any match we're gonna say yes to. We don't care, right? We're like, yes. I want to find out more about you, right? Or whatever. So, so I match everybody. And then you have to play this whole first texting engagement, which is the hardest part of the whole thing, by the way.
There's a dance that happens with this.
It's literally the toughest thing, and it's stupid because it's really false advertisement. Because if you can figure out just the right things to say, you'll get the date. That's the whole purpose, is to get the date, right?
Right. Have the right profile pictures.
So
and the right biography, or biography.
You have to have that,
and figure out the right
way to say in a text before they even give you a number, before you can actually text it, which is
funny?
weird.
You know what's really funny? Because again, we bring it back into the past, where like my grandfather would be like, hi, would you like to dance? And yeah, so that's that, right? But now we're over here, we're like, you gotta have the profile picture.
Yeah.
You gotta know how to handle technology.
Yeah.
You gotta know how to write. You need to be a seasoned writer. You need to go.
Don't you know there's already a full federal background check right here? Like you know what I mean?
You need to learn how to write.
So you build up this facade, but the thing is, it's easy enough to do it if you do it right. But I'm genuine, and I'm looking for a genuine person, and I think most people generally that's the truth, right? I'm genuine, you're genuine, we're all looking for genuine stuff. Are there, predators and things like that on both sides? Absolutely, right? But for the most part, people are good, and we're trying to just connect, right? We're trying to figure out how in this new world. And so once you get past that, actually, here's my phone number.
Okay, so you're in.
That's how I know. For me personally, if I can talk to you, or if you can see me and I can see you, and I'm not just talking in dating, for me personally, in business, in anything I do, I personally have I know my abilities since I was 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know I'll get you, and I can engage with you on a level most people can't engage with me on my level. that's in my opinion, it's like my experience is the truth of the matter, right?
Yes, so you want somebody who can connect with you on that deeper level.
So, but when I get on the phone with a girl, or in that, and I'm listening, I'm actually engaging, I'm listening, and I'm talking. And the person I was with in a relationship for 3 years, we FaceTime and talked on the phone for 3 or 4 months before we even met in person.
Wow, so you guys put the time in to connect before
you even
met.
But there was, she was very genuine in everything that she did, and also kind of innocent and genuine. And I'm not so innocent, but I'm not.
Yeah.
But I am very genuine and open and honest, And at the time in my life, I was just out of this divorce and relationship, and I'm just like literally rebuilding my life. Like I felt the lowest I've ever felt in my life at that point, because I lost everything. Like as a person, as a man, everything I thought that I was striving for, my marriage, all of my son, I felt lost and confused, and I didn't know what to do. Mm-hmm. So I'm reaching out, grabbing. Technology's out there.
Like, so the dating apps.
Yeah, but you know what? But this is what people do, because a lot of people feel lost and alone and don't know what to do. And before, they just didn't know, And now you can actually have an app. It's a good thing.
It's a good thing. And, it could be, okay, so dating apps could be a good thing and a bad thing, because it could be it could be used as a way to get you out of a lull, right? To have somebody else see your worth, right? It feels good. It feels the dopamine hits are coming in. You're like, that feels good when I get those messages. That feels good when people ask me on dates. So that could be good. But then it also could be used as a crutch where it's bad. Where now it's you don't have to stay alone. You don't have to be alone. Yeah,
pause on that right now. It can be used as a crutch. Period. Let's go to women really quick. Why isn't this working for me? Look, and then guys take advantage of it because it's the nature of the beast, right?
Yeah.
And then they're wondering why, because you're putting yourself out there in that way, and you're engaging in that way. It's so tricky. We're all trying to figure out stuff.
Okay, so if you're on the dating apps, you might not be in the best, in my opinion, the best space. Like maybe you are.
No, you're
maybe
right.
You are. No, maybe you are.
No. But you know what? It's the people that are not in the best space that it appeals to the most, for sure.
Yeah.
Because if you're in a good space,
then you don't even need to be on the dating apps.
That's how I felt. That's how you felt. Exactly.
But I mean, you could be, and I'm not saying that actually. Like, you could be in a good space on the dating apps.
You can.
But some people who use it as a crutch, it's like they just broke up out of the relationship. They're really, really lonely. They don't know who they are. They're afraid to be alone. So then the next step would be to download the dating apps and then to get into,
and then immediately it goes from I'm afraid of being alone and I'm worried about myself to why don't they like me?
Yeah, why isn't anybody giving me any love on the dating
You don't like you.
Yeah.
Why would I like you if you don't like you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
It's so different because women, you can literally never have to pay for dinner for like a whole year. you can eat at all the great restaurants. I'm a foodie person. I love foodie, but I have to physically pay and go to any place I go to eat, and anybody I'm bringing with me, I'm gonna pay. But as a woman, I can literally hop on. I can be like, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I could really go for some sushi. Let me get on my app. Swipe. Okay, it's good enough. Whatever.
You put sushi on the profile.
Yeah.
I love sushi.
And they're like, hey, and then some guys like,
champagne.
guys like, hey, do you want some champagne and sushi? Like, whatever, yeah. Take me to champagne.
But
and
at
the end of it, you're like, oh my god, this sushi's amazing, but you. I gotta go.
On the other side of that, though.
2 hours later, # why am I not finding love? I don't, you know what I mean? Come on. What are we doing here?
For the guy, I feel bad because I do know girls who use the dating apps to get fed.
Without question.
They need something to eat.
No. Listen.
So they're gonna go on this dating app
Hey,
and then they're gonna get some food.
we're touching on something right now. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna look at the camera for this because I need y'all to hear this. I need all the men out here to hear this. You know they said way to a man's heart's through his stomach, but you know what? The truth is, the way to a woman's pants, bro, is through her stomach, dude. I'm telling you right now. I'm giving you some real solid advice. If you're at a bar and you see some chick that's super hot, you go, I'm gonna order her a drink. Don't order her a drink, bro. Order her an appetizer, and I promise you, I promise you, I'm not BSing you. I know you're gonna disagree with me right now, but I'm trying to tell you right now. Order it, give her some wings, bro. Send some wings down her way. She's not gonna look at you as some guy at the bar anymore. She's gonna look at you as future husband of her kids, all right? Because you've already you're already feeding her and taking care of her. It comes as non-threatening because you're not taking advantage of me. You're not trying to get me drunk.
Yeah, you're right. That's
You're actually nurturing.
Right.
You're
No,
literally
right.
nurturing me.
Order appetizer, especially the good appetizers.
Yeah.
You know, like the
Yeah.
asparagus fries or
Oysters, whatever.
what.
So-
Oysters would be an extra. Yeah, you're like, I'm taking you
Yeah.
seriously. I'm gonna get you some
It
oysters.
speaks so much louder than the most expensive drink in the bar. Give her a glass of wine.
Would you like some oysters?
Yeah, give that girl a drink. Oh, okay, whatever, thank you, right? Bye. She expects it. You and your 3 friends were standing at a bar waiting for somebody to buy you a drink, and nobody
Right.
ever did, but you know what I mean? That's the expectation. But if you and your 3 friends are standing at the bar and somebody sent you appetizers, your game is off, and now I've got the advantage.
I think as women we need to be more honest about how hungry we actually are. We're hungry enough to the point that we
Okay.
like fine dining experiences enough to
Listen,
the point that we would say yes
I'm
to
in the
dates.
entertainment business, okay? So I deal with models and all these people all the time. The number one thing they ask, I kid you not, I do celebrity events. We're like, hey, we got, such and such celebrity. Yeah, okay, but is there food there? Like the number one
Yeah,
thing.
am I gonna get fed?
Are you feeding me?
Mhm.
I'm telling you, that's the main thing. All right, so that's the side thing. We're just
Okay, so you get into the girls.
yes, you get in. So
you get into the girls texting, right? You're in. You're
Got-
like, hey, let's take this off the dating app. Let's get really serious.
I'm actually gonna give you my personal information, and we're actually gonna talk. And for me, that's where that courtship began. And it was interesting. So the girl that I was connecting with at the time, she was just finishing her last year in college at the time, and she was really slowly, really coming into her own too. You know what I mean? So the app was like a safe way for her to kind of like step out there a little bit too. And even though her mom was like absolutely good, her mom hated me, still hates me. Like never.
Oh my God.
Like she'd be like, why are you talking this trash? Like she never even met me. But so for 3 months, for 3 months we were
But
talking.
you pursued.
No, we talked when we
Yeah.
engaged, right? And because we had a real connection, and so it was constantly engaging. And I was showing my genuineness for her. So she made an excuse. She had a school project because she went to school for business. So she needed to get like a business perspective on some industry stuff, and I've had some companies or whatever. So so I was like, yeah. She's like, I just want to ask you some questions to interview for school. So this is how we met in person for the first time.
She wanted to do an interview
This was her excuse.
after 3 months.
Because the truth of the matter is, it had nothing to do with the interview,
Yeah.
right?
But you know what? She's classy. She's
Very classy. No. By the way, this.
Do an
Yes.
interview with
I
you,
can't
so-
speak highly enough of this person. She already knows who she is. She's out there. I'm just gonna give her all the praise and love and glory. She's really a great person. Even she broke up with me. Like it's fine. Like you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, she's a great person. Like she's a really solid person. So, but she drove an hour and a half out of her way to come and meet me.
Wow. So that was the effort.
That was the effort on the first time. But I had to put 3 months of effort in, up until that point. And and then let's just say that the school interview was very short, the rest of the time was a great time. And ever since then, it was like we had a real connection, but okay, so fast forwarding now, 3 years later, like through it all. So where are the flaws in all this, right? So that was kind of a good scenario because the first time I ever really got on the app, I'm figuring out different people, but I did connect with somebody. And we did actually have like a really good conversation and connect. And for 3-4 months, it was very genuine. You know, it was almost like very reassuring. We FaceTimed each other. We knew each other, right? Felt confident enough for her to drive out to meet me to my place for the first time. And after that, we were together for 3 years, you know? And met a lot of great people through her and stuff like that. But the thing of it was, if I have to like look at it now, is that she never, it was almost like a false pretense where you kind of just, I guess it just kind of gets back to the basic relationship stuff, where it's like, you know, the fact that you are on an app is there's a deficiency.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, because depending on which app you met on.
True.
Then
I mean, you
really
can be specific.
Define
Farmer, like pig farmer boys.
Yeah.
You can be very specific.
There's definitely like a genre of app. There's different genres of apps.
Yeah.
And whatever app you met, whatever your profile looked like, there's a lot, and you have a lot of questions. You're always questioning, like.
Yeah. So
you know,
here's the thing: people, instead of accepting somebody for who they are, they're trying to find the perfect person that they think matches them. And you're building your Build-A-Bear, right? Or build a relationship, right?
Build a relationship on the
But the fact of the matter, at the moment that you're building that bear and building that relationship, really it could be on your own false pretenses. It's not truly what you need and what you actually going to make you a long-term successful relationship. You know, so you, instead of trying to face yourself and confront who you are and make yourself a better version of who you need to be, you're trying to find somebody that you can fit into your own falsehoods.
Yeah.
And then it never works.
Yeah.
Because there's no truth behind it.
Yeah.
You know, there's no substance behind it.
Yeah, it's almost like a little bit more, even more tricky, because you think that you know what you need. Maybe you know what you want.
Yeah.
But you don't know what you need. So you go after what you want, and it's easier with the dating apps, because the dating apps is like, oh, that's what I want. That's what I want.
Yeah, that's what I want. And then you're like, I don't want it. And we got a friend that's like,